Alright, y'all, this is I think it's a 2000 and 2002 or something like that. Around that time. I'll put it in the description. It's a S10 Chevy. Basically, guy comes to me and he says it's not stopping properly. His brake pedal's going all the way down, and he knows a little bit about cars, and the oil's coming out from he sees not oil but grease coming out from like the tires and everything. So the first thing comes to mind is the bearings. I already changed the other side, but it's a good side. It's a good idea to change both sides. So I already did the other side, the one that's actually the problem, so I'm just gonna film this one. Honestly, there's so many jobs I don't film because I don't have time to do it. Like, I mean, I'm trying to get a Toyota Camry timing belt, Toyota Sienna timing belt, all these things I've done that I didn't really have time to do. So bear with me, guys, if it's not the greatest video in the world. I try to do what I can when I can. In this case, the wheel nuts are either 19mm or it's either 19 or 3/4. So we'll use this kit right here, and we're also going to use this kit right here. Actually, last time on the other side, I used the 29mm, but it was too big. So I got the, I don't know what it is, 28. It's either a 28 or a 27 for the axle, So let's start by just taking off the wheel. I'm gonna raise it right here. This is a truck, so it has a frame. I'm gonna raise it. I'm gonna put some jack stand. I already have in the back. I got the brake on, the parking brake, and I got some wheel chocks back there, so we're good to go. I'm gonna lift it up. I'm gonna put it on jacks. I'm gonna put it on jack stands. I'm gonna remove the lug nuts. There's 2, 4, 5. On this particular vehicle, they're either 19 or 3/4. And then I'll get back at you. Alright, I took off the tire, took off the dust cover, and when I say I don't abuse my tools, I'm lying, because I do. I'm hitting this. This tool is actually free. I was hitting this to get the dust cover off right here. It broke. But as you may know, if you're a subscriber of mine, I have a welder, so what I'm going to do is put a big old freaking handle on this thing, weld it on there. Nice project for me to do instead of throwing it away. That's a good idea for using a welder. Hex back here, if I could get it off. This is a 3/8. This is a 3/8. 3/8 back here. You got one right here. And then you got one right here, counterclockwise. Take this off. We're going to take this off, and then we're going to hang it up here to the side. And then right here you have a cotter pin. I got some new cotter pins right here. So you got a cotter pin right here. Just take that cotter pin off. Take the cotter pin off. And then, like I said, I used the 29. This is 27. It's a 27, fits perfectly. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the 27 to take that off. I'm gonna hang this out of the side. After I take this off, this whole thing's gonna come off. And then these are the parts we got. That. And you're gonna have this number for the bearing, one of the bearings. You're going to have a seal. This is the seal. And then here's the other bearing. What you have is this is for the Chevy. You have a bearing out here, and then you have a bearing in there. And then what we're going to have to do is once we take this off, we're going to have to hit out the races. Because these come with the new races. We're going to have to hit out the old races, and then we're going to have to put in the new races, and I'll show you that. So I pull off the caliper, hang it to the side. I just use the bungee cords right there. And you got the rotor right here. the first thing you do is you remove that, and then you pull out the cotter pin, which is inside there. That's a 27mm nut after you take out the cotter pin. And then what happens is you could take this off right here, and this is facing in like this. This faces in like that, so that's gonna come out. You put that down, and then you flip this over. You're gonna flip it down, over, and you have a seal right here. And I just use the pop the seal out with that. And we're gonna put the new seal. And then we have this right here, which is the other bearing. And then what we have in here, we're gonna have to pop this out, which is the race. So you know what? Let's just I guess I'll keep filming. See if I can't get a good see if I can't show you. What I'm doing here. One second. So you got the races right here, basically for this right here. This right here, this part is in there right now still. So I mean, you can go without doing it. You could just put this one, but we want to put a nice new surface on this thing. We want to do it properly, and so what we want to do is we want to remove the old race, and then what we're going to do is and sometimes when you get a new one of these, it's going to come with a new race already installed. But since we're doing it ourselves, we're not going to have that convenience. So I'll just get something like this that I can pound on right here, and so I'll flip this over. And you just want to get in there. You could feel where the race is. I could feel it right here. There's a corner edge right there. Be careful. What I like to do is use this so you don't hit your hand or your fingers or anything. Catch it on that edge like that, and then just kind of wail away. And actually, what might be better is to have a better I'm gonna get a bigger hammer. And just a bigger hammer. And have it where it's nice and tight. See it working as well. You can work it side to side. Get this side. And that's exactly why we use. So this is the race right here. We're trying to get this out right here. So I'm going to continue to hit it right here. There's wonder why I wear gloves. Gels popping out. It's coming out. I'm gonna hit it on this side now. This side. I'm going to continue to hit on this lip right here where it's starting to come out. This is starting to bend. Get another one. throw some gloves on, bigger, thicker gloves. It's starting to bend. I'll take it back to the store. It's a Dasco. Should have a lifetime warranty on it. I'm gonna hit it right here. The last one came out a little bit easier. I'm going to continue to hit it right here. I want to make sure you clean it out. It's okay. This is the surface right here it's going to sit on. You can see right here a little piece cracked off. That's not going to be a problem because with the new one is going to sit in right against that. It's going to hold it in there. This one right here, you can look at the surface. Honestly, since we had problems with the other one, I'm gonna just leave that one in there. Stuck in. I'm gonna clean this one up. This one had some problems getting in there. Want to make sure we take all the metal pieces out and everything. What we're gonna do is let me get my bearing race kit. Bearing race kit. And then we're going to get the race that goes in there. Now I'm going to have to pause because I'm going to have to clean up in there. I'm going to have to throw some sandpaper in there and clean it up. It's a little bit dirty. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to get whatever fits on there nice. Which is that one right there, a 63 millimeter. I'm going to hit that in. I'm going to get this piece right here. I'm going to put it in there. And I'm going to hit that in. But first, I want to clean it up. It needs cleaned up a little bit. So stick with me, we'll be back. Alright, what I did was there's there was edges around some of the circumference. I cleaned it up with a sorry about the lighting, it's not that great. I cleaned it up. It's a Dremel. It's a Black & Decker. This little abrasive wheel. These things come in so handy you can't believe. Anyways, you want to make sure you clean out the inside really well. Use whatever you can to clean out the inside. And the first thing to go inside is the race right here. And what you want to do is put a little clean grease. You can put a little clean grease on the outside of the race right here. Help it to go on smoother. You want to start it off nice and smooth. That's why I cleaned off those burrs. There was like some burrs. You want it to go in smooth because when it came out, it didn't go in all that smooth. So right here, it's in like that. Goes in like that. And then we're just going to tap it in there nice and easy. You want to kind of start out. He's going in there nice and easy. That's why I went in there with that that Dremel to clean out the burrs and everything, so that it doesn't get caught on anything. So sitting in there nice and tight now. It's in there. It's nice and flush. So you got it in there nice and flush. You can see it's right nice and flush. And like I said, once again, that's why I went in there. You can see right here. That's why I went in there and cleaned out the deburrs, because it might, if I had a little burrs right here, it might mess it up right there. So that's why I cleaned it out. And then what happens is this is going to sit right there like that. And we want to make sure that the the seal is going to go in there properly with the bearing and everything. And here's the seal, and this is going to go this down like this. Once again, we'll put a little grease on this. Sometimes I've seen people put a little bit of silicone actually. The silicone you could put a small amount, but I mean, I really don't recommend it, because what happens is people overdo it and it gets into the bearing mechanism and everything. So we'll get it like this, and we'll just get some on here while we have the grease. Like I said, sorry about the lighting. This side right here is going down like this, and once again we're going to get the size that looks like is the right size for this. And this is the bearing brace and steel kit, installer kit. We don't want to hit the center. That looks like it fits alright, but this one right here fits better around the circumference. Actually, in all reality, we could just use this one right here. Make sure you get it in there nice and even. So we'll just use this one right here. So if it starts leaning to this side, I move to this side and start working it down like that. You can see it moving slightly. Now here I have a nice like ring, hard ring noise. It's in there. It's nice and flush. Bearings move freely. That's in there nicely. Wipe off the excess. You could give a little bit of grease right here. You can wipe off the excess. And then it's ready to be installed right there. And that's where the seal is going to ride on. So you want to make sure you just clean this area right here. And I guess I'm going to try to get you in here. Just clean this seal area, because this is literally where it's going to seal. And this is where the bearing is going to ride, so you want to make sure you clean that area. Like that. And then, put it on there. Try not to hit anything. That should be good to go. And then we'll put the other bearing. This other bearing in there. It comes with bearing and race. We kept the old race in there because we had problems with the original one. And we're gonna have to pack these actually, but we're just kind of giving it a quick fit up. Like that, so it's nice in there. So what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna take this back off. I'm gonna shoot some grease. I'm gonna take it. I just wanted to see if it's fitting up properly, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot some grease, take it off, shoot some grease through the back, and then we're just gonna install it the same way we removed it after I put the grease. I'm gonna put this back. And then I'm going to put the nut back. The nut right here, which is the 27 millimeter. I'm going to put a new cotter pin. Well, let me show you how to run down the nut. Let me show you how to run down the nut. You want to get it like that. When you tighten it too much, it's going to start dragging. Once you want to drag it, you want to back it up a little bit so that it moves freely. But we're gonna have to put some grease, and so I'm gonna get a wrench on here. Once you tighten it more, you'll feel it start dragging. But you want to back off one notch, and then that's where you want to put the cotter pin. So, anyways, I try to show you as much as I can, guys. I think that's enough to work with. If you're doing this job, it shows you what you're dealing with. Go ahead, comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. So we got it all put back together. It's just those 2 3/8 right here going through there. I didn't have to push the caliper in. I just moved it in sideways. I mean, I didn't have to push the piston back in. I just put the caliper in this way, worked it in this way. When you're putting the nut, and you're tighten it, and you want to put it so where it almost feels like it's starting to get a little bit tight. Almost a little bit. And then you want to back it up just a little bit. So basically, if it's too loose, the nut's too loose, it's gonna wobble. You see how there's gonna be no free play with this. So you want to push it until it starts dragging on the bearing, and then you want to back it up once, and then it's good to go. So in other words, it's pushed it in enough where it's not going to free play move back and forth, but it's also going to roll, and it's not going to have too much push on the bearing. If I can move it by hand like this, it's not too much. You know what I mean? And that little bit drag you're hearing from the caliper right there. So should be good. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe.